Man, we are just knocking games out of the way, setting them up, knocking them down, setting them up, and knocking them down. Going to game 3 right away without even a break at all, man. These casters, us poor casters. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, starting over here at the top right side of the map, representing, it looks to be Lucifron, there we go. Representing Karont3 Gaming, it is going to be the Green Terran Lucifron. His opponent down here at the bottom right side of the map, close by air, it is going to be the FXOGumiho. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 on GSL Whirlwind, one of the biggest maps. Again, we saw an earlier matchup today between Cats and Gumiho with a wonderful mech-esque style, kind of forced a little bit of a base trade, and won. This time it is going to be a TVT versus a TVT, and as we see already, a couple SCVs heading on out. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, I'm like, what in the world is going on? So Gumiho actually sending one to scout, one to build an SCV supply depot. So again, with a big map like this, not too bad of a decision to go and scout out some stuff pretty early, try to find out where the heck your opponent is. Again, not everybody can be a Marine King. Trust me, man. You watch Marine, like you want a tumor while watching this game. You want to like grow a tumor while watching this. Watch Marine King when he plays on this map, man. The cat doesn't scout, man. Doesn't matter who he's playing. The cat does not scout. Goes like CC first, doesn't scout, and like hits this just like brilliant timing push on the on these type of maps. Like it's crazy. And again, I was sort of wrong. It looks like Gumiho is actually going to be going for a proxy double racks. Unfortunately for him, Lucifron going straight to the watchtower, doing a wonderful job, just knowing exactly what's going on. This is going to actually halt Gumiho's plans for the most part. He is going to need to somehow take out this SCV, and as we see, additional SCVs are coming, not only to harass but also take this command center. So Gumiho right now, is he gonna throw down another barracks? Doesn't look like it. And at this point, Gumiho is just gonna go scout and find out exactly where he is. Make sure he is to the right side. Bringing another SCV out, so I don't know if he's trying to build another barracks as well, or maybe just go with a one barracks pressure, one barracks bunker esque play. Man, that's kind of crazy on this type of map. I really didn't expect this from Gumiho. But again, I haven't seen a lot of games of Gumiho where he's played on this map, so I guess it's kind of a little bit of a double-edged sword, if you want to call it. For some of you guys, as the pressure does come, if some of you guys are not aware, again, the top 16 players apparently moved on from the RSL. There was 8 groups of 3 each. Guys like Lowly, Thorzan, Freyr, Happy, Leenock, Titan, Oz, Monchi, Baby Knight, Lucifron, Cats, Gumiho, Vortex, Braddock, Kos, and Strelok all have moved on to the round of 16, but already some of the round of 16 players have been finished up. As we take a look and see, Lowly was able to beat Thorzan 2-0, Happy beat Freyr 3-0, and Leenock beat Titan 3-1. Oz beat Monchi 3-1. Lucifron beat Baby Knight 3-1, as we saw earlier today. Gumiho beat Cats 3-1, as well as Vortex earlier beat Braddock 3-1. So there most likely is going to be RSL play tomorrow as well. Prior to all the holiday festivities, it is going to be most likely it's going to be Kos versus Strelok, and then the winner of that is going to play Vortex to get our semifinals set up for the RSL. Now the pressure does continue, but at this point of the game, Lucifron has done a wonderful job holding it off. Wonderful defense as well. There are a couple of Marines now, so he's got to be very careful with some of his DPS and how he controls and utilizes his units. Good SCV pull right there by Lucifron in a very timely manner, and putting down the bunker as well. And at this point for Gumiho, it's more worth it for him just to save his units, cut his losses, and go home. Now, as we take a look and see some of the earlier round of 8 playoffs that happened, Lowly beat Happy 3-1. Oz beat Leenock 3-0. As we see right now, the series between Lucifron and Gumiho is going on, tied 1-1 at the moment. And then, of course, we're going to have tomorrow most likely set up Kos versus Strelok, and then the winner of that is going to play Vortex in the round of 8. So, getting down to the nitty gritty. Now, something I do want to check out, just to give a little bit of an extra fact stat sheet, some of the prize breakdown. First place is going to get $3,000. Second place is going to get $2,000. Third place $1,000. Fourth place $500, and then fifth through eighth place is going to get $250. Again, losers of the round of 8 will get that $250. As we take a look and see who's already won that, who's already put a little bit of extra change in their pocket. It looks like Happy, Leenock, and then the loser of this match will get a little bit extra pocket change as well. So not too bad of a deal to play in a nice big league like this. And you know, the cool thing about the RSL, again, it's one of those, it's a Russian league, but it has players from everywhere. It has players from NA, it has players from South America, it has players from Russia, Europe, Korea, Canada. Again, I mean, I could ramble off some of the groups. Again, some of the people that did not move on, again, I don't want to make it a highlight of them not moving on, but I mean, the additional players that were within this tournament were Mana, Bly, Scarlet, Slivko, White Raw, MMA, Damaga, Verdi. Like, I mean, there's a lot of epic great players. So, I mean, moving out of these groups was a big accomplishment in its own. So, again, for some players, it is kind of unfortunate timely play. I'm just kind of like putting it out there. I know I don't know exactly. I need to double check the time zone that Peru is in. But if it's like my time zone, playing at 8 in the morning, man, I would just absolutely be just exhausted. I would not be happy to play at 8 in the morning personally. And again, in Korea, you could count it as 17 hours ahead of us, so it's pretty much morning there as well. I think actually, to be exact, it would be 2 in the morning. So Gumiho not only having to deal with lag issues, but it has to be exhausted himself as well. Now, this is actually really cute from Gumiho. He's taking a proxy. He's taking a proxy command center, and you know who this reminds me of? This reminds me of a young man. For some of you guys that are don't pay close attention to the GSL, it was a TVZ. I want to say Leenock versus Ryung, or was it Symbol versus Ryung? I want to be very careful who I mentioned. I think it's either it was Leenock versus Ryung or Symbol versus Ryung. It was a TVZ, but this is exactly what these were the exact positions for the player. The Terran player Gumiho was in Ryung's position, and he took a proxy base right over here. And this is kind of one of those bases that doesn't exactly get scouted right away, and it's pretty hard to scout as it is. Just because of where it's located, typically you wouldn't think. Usually you would look here first and probably kind of route your way down to some of these maps. And then as a player yourself, you're kind of only focused on taking some of the bases further away from your opponent. So you're not going to really be looking at this kind of corner-esque 9 o'clock base. So very smart play by Gumiho, and especially if he's going to be able to also get this third base up without any issues, he's going to have a 7th and 8th gas and just additional mining power for the longest time ever. And that's going to give such a big advantage to Gumiho and allow himself to actually get back into this game, because at the time being, I would say Lucifron still does have a little bit of a lead, and especially with his army value, that does make him a dangerous player, and once medevac comes out, he's going to be in the same position as well. Now let's take a look inside the main base. Again, there we go, the starport just getting switched over to the reactor, so the first medevac should be coming out as we take a look and see. Double upgrades are getting underway, 1-1, and as well as an armory well timed, so you can get his 2-2 within a good timely manner as well. But you got to give props to Gumiho, man, getting a nice supply lead, getting his 1-1 as well, about fourth of the way done. Now what I would love to see from Gumiho actually right now is actually give some more, give some drop harass recognition, and actually, and actually put up some turrets, because that's something that could actually change the game in a half a second. If all these units come down here with Marine Marauder and start dropping and catch Gumiho with his pants and his zipper down before he actually gets additional tanks and anti-air units out, Lucifron could actually take an enormous lead. But here we go, taking a look over here, the fourth base finally starting to get mined. Over here, the proxy base, as we take a look and see, the 5th and 6th gases are getting taken as well. This is just kind of like one of those things you're just like, you feel bad for Lucifron, because Gumiho's playing so smart, and Lucifron is just being so safe, and a lot of his focus right now is on the third base and to avoid Hellion harass. So he's not able to really focus on scouting and double checking the rest of the map and drops and that style of esque play as it is. And just kind of for the time being, again, if you guys want to do follow me, you guys can follow me on Twitter at EmpireTVCHL. I'm part of the Empires, the Russian Empire, the Russian Empire, Empire's casting team, not the Communist Party, not the KGB, but the actual team Empire, guys like Happy Koss, all those dudes. If you guys also get a chance, be sure to vote for us for Team Razor, the Razor Team of the Year. I'll toss a link a little bit later once I get it shot. If you guys have any questions for me, also feel free to kind of ask in chat. Don't be shy. Again, we've got a lot of time on our hands. I feel like this is going to be one of those games that could probably potentially go into a late game, especially with a big map like this. You can never count a bio player against a mech player, because there's just so much area to really engage throughout the map. As we take a look and see, 2-2 for Lucifron underway, 2-2 for Gumiho, just a little bit behind, but the difference is it is 2-2 mech, so it's a little bit more effective. a little bit more effective, I guess if you want to call it that. 2-2 is a little bit more dangerous than the 2-2 of Lucifron's. Wonderful job by Gumiho, still doing her, really keeping Lucifron on the backside, and this is just kind of painful right now, you guys. If you put yourself in Lucifron's shoes right now, Lucifron literally feels like he can't move out because one, he knows he can't exactly engage an army of mech of Gumiho straight up unless he might catch him on siege, kind of like right now. But the other problem is there's just always that risk of Hellion harass, Hellion run-bys, because the amount of Hellions right now, not only can he could literally kill an economy plus a base plus an army, and there we go. As we see, because of that movement and because he sees all the movement that Gumiho is having, he's actually pressing back. So here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about right now. Gumiho in a really nice position, sitting on 7 to 8 gases right now total, as well as also taking his 9th and 10 gas as well with this 5th base that he's putting up. He does have to be a little bit careful because there is not a lot of defenses up, and this poor base actually will go down. He needs to cancel. Even with the lift, it is going to go down. So a little bit of a mismanagement by Gumiho, if you want to call it, but now with the siege tanks in place, the Marauders are not going to be able to exactly potch out everything away. The rest of these medevacs actually will fall. Gumiho will chase these with these Vikings down because there's no Marines in place to support, and I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Lucifron's just like, yay, I was able to kill a 4th base, but again, boo, what Lucifron does not know is unfortunately that this 4th base over here, proxy, is going to might be the game ender for him. Now, as we see Gumiho adding additional factories over here at the 3rd base, ramping up his production. As we see, already 4 factories in the main. So he's going to have actually 5 factories total in the main. So he's going to have 7 factory and additional 2 starports are getting produced. So 3 starport, 7 factory, always a wonderful combination. And as we see right now, the problem for Lucifron, right now Gumiho is going to start pushing himself in here, starting to siege up some of the tanks. Oh, sorry about that. Had to sneeze. As we see Gumiho again pressing into the 3rd base, sieging up the place. All the economy at the 3rd base for Lucifron is going to get lost. But over here on the backside, Lucifron doing a wonderful job breaking on through, able to take out all the factories and everything that was getting produced over here. Almost even taking down the orbital command. Again, Gumiho is going to be able to repair that. But again, the problem right now, as we take a look and see, Gumiho has a really nice position right now, and if he needs to actually utilize the Hellions as best as possible and actually finish off any of the additional economy that he does have over here. This does kind of suck for the time being. Gumiho, Lucifron's base is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Caught between Vikings, he's not going to be able to do too much. Now the battle cruiser and the Vikings are going to try to break through here slowly, but the problem is there's just a lot of tanks, there's a lot of SCVs repairing, and there's still a lot of anti-air in place for Gumiho. So if he brings these Vikings back, he should be able to actually for the most part, be able to clear this out, or at least pick off a battle cruiser or 2. Again, the problem for Lucifron, he doesn't have any additional bases, guys. He's literally stuck on 2 bases. He doesn't have any additional production, and even at this point, Lucifron, he's literally relying on this 1 battle cruiser and Vikings to break on through. If he's not able to, then he might be in a big troublesome position. I don't think Lucifron will leave just because he does have the battle cruiser and the air advantage, but Gumiho probably right now with the additional starports is going to kind of ramp up his production, get additional Vikings, and eventually to a point where he could actually probably just outmuscle Lucifron with a higher Viking count. And as we take a look and see, he actually decided to go Thors, which are going to do wonderful not only against the Vikings but as well battle cruisers with repairs. So very interesting game, kind of how it turned into. Didn't really expect it how it went. I would have expected Lucifron with an earlier base and ability to hold as well. Would have had an economic advantage and try to do maybe a little bit of a timing-esque push, but Gumiho, again, being the smart player that he is, took a proxy base. This is basically why Gumiho is very alive in this game. Due to this proxy base, and now as we see also this 4th base getting retaken, 5th base in position as well with the planetary and orbital, and oh my god, I cannot believe Lucifron just did that, walked a lot of his Vikings into Thors, a lot of splash damage done there. As we take a look and see, a lot of those Vikings got kind of shot right there. This is crazy, man. This game is like, This game is crazy because Lucifron again is not out. The battle cruisers are really dangerous and one of those things that could really keep Lucifron in the game. But the problem is there's a lot of Thors now out on the map. This is kind of the difference. In game number 1, we saw Lucifron. He had a great bio army, and he was not only had a great bio army, but he was able to hit a timing with the battle cruisers and the Vikings before Gumiho really had defenses. This time around, Gumiho now has turrets. He's got ravens. He's got Thors in place. So now he's ready to defend. Plus now additional Hellions getting involved in the pack. He's ready to defend this time. On the backside over here, no defenses ready for the economy. Gumiho going with the counterattack with the Hellion run by. Doing a wonderful job. More mining, more SCV loss for Lucifron. And I mean, again, everything adds up as we take a look and see at the kill count right now. 65 total workers have been killed by Gumiho to the 29 of Lucifron. And again, the storyline of the game is this proxy base over here, the additional gas economy, the additional mineral economy. Gumiho just kind of having the time of his life, knowing that, you know, it could be a completely different game if Lucifron found out about it. Now, Gumiho, he does have a good little mini turret ring going on right now. I mean, I just don't see right now really what Lucifron can do. His best option is to catch right now Lucifron, Gumiho on siege, and that might be the game right here. A lot of Ravens in place. There we go. Finally, the PDD's getting thrown down. A lot of Vikings still in the game. But the problem is, what is left of the ground army of Lucifron under there? All the Marauders get cleared out, and there's only 2 battle cruisers left. A lot of Vikings with upgrades as well. And there we go. GG coming from Lucifron. Game number 3 getting taken by Gumiho. Beautiful, beautiful play by the Korean Terran from FXO, giving himself a wonderful 2-1 lead. And we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with game... Shit. Q's, don't invite me, you piece of shit. Well, we're going to be right... We're gonna be right back with game number 4 in just a moment, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cheesehead Logic. This is the RSL round of 16.